Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Cardi B, the streets are ringing, and they're saying what Stefon did to you, the Super Bowl humiliation, the engagement party, maybe where it never was. They are saying that this was all a setup, and they are saying that pre-Stefon, and get this, even Offset might have been in it. Now, before we call Stefon and Offset two of the biggest losers in the world and big dummies, we need to get into what people in the industry are saying. We have Gorgeous Doll. Y'all remember Gorgeous Doll. She's the one that humiliated Future. And baby, he loved every second of it. He even made a song about her low-key flirting, trying to get her back.
Did Cardi B just get played on the world's biggest stage? The streets are buzzing, and the rumors are getting darker by the minute. Everyone is talking about that infamous Super Bowl weekend, but it wasn't just about the game. It was about a calculated public humiliation. Insiders are now claiming that Stefon's decision to have a specific person by his side, someone with a messy history involving Cardi's ex, Offset, wasn't a coincidence. It was a setup. People are calling it a Scooby-Doo style reveal.
On the most important day of your career. Okay, if you're in my subscription, you already know my full breakdown on this. But if you have been paying attention to this lore between Cardi, Offset, Stefon, and Pre, you already know that, Stefon, you were dumb as fuck for having your new baby mother's ex-husband's side bitch that was fucking her husband while she was pregnant the last time at the most important game of your life. I believe in energy, okay? I also believe in karma. And as soon
where the drama was orchestrated to tear Cardi B down right in the middle of her career high. But why would a partner go to such extreme lengths to embarrass the mother of his child on live television? Is Stefon really just a big dummy? Or is there something much more sinister and jealous happening behind closed doors? From secret alliances to demon time, family members, and rumors of spiritual warfare, we are breaking down the alleged conspiracy that is everyone talking. If you think this was just a simple misunderstanding, think again. Let's dive into the messy, chaotic truth of what really went down behind the scenes. The Super Bowl is meant to be the pinnacle of a professional athlete's career. It is the moment where dreams are realized, legacies are cemented, and the world watches in awe. But for Cardi B, the most recent Super Bowl weekend turned into a whirlwind of speculation, heartbreak, and what many are calling a masterclass in psychological warfare. To understand why the internet is convinced that Stefon intentionally set Cardi up, we have to look past the glitz of the VIP suites and into the messy, intertwined history of the players involved. The centerpiece of this controversy is the presence of Pre at the Super Bowl, a figure who, according to industry insiders and long-standing rumors, is deeply connected to the darker chapters of Cardi B's past. For those who aren't familiar with the lore, Pre is allegedly the same woman who was involved with Offset, Cardi's ex-husband, during a time when Cardi was famously struggling through her own pregnancy. The fact that Stefon, Cardi's current partner, would not only associate with this woman, but elevate her to a position of importance during his biggest career moment is what has the girlies in the streets screaming setup. It isn't just about who was there, it's about the optics. In the world of high-profile relationships, who you choose to have in your inner circle during a televised event is a statement. It is a visual signal to the world about who you value and, perhaps more importantly, who you don't. By having Pre present, and by having his own family fully embracing her, Stefon wasn't just living his life. He was allegedly sending a message. Observers argue that this was a calculated move to humiliate Cardi, forcing her to confront a ghost from her past while she was there to support him. Think about the timing. Cardi B is a powerhouse in her own right. She had endorsements, massive deals, and even went as far as commissioning matching jewelry for the weekend. She was ready to celebrate, to show up, and to be the ultimate support system. Instead, she was met with a situation that felt like a scripted scene from a drama series. When you look at how Stefon and Pre appeared on the scene, it felt coordinated. The way they popped out, the way the family was hugged up with her, it created an atmosphere that was designed to make Cardi feel like the outsider in her own relationship. Critics and commentators are asking the hard question, was this a spontaneous error in judgment, or a cold-blooded plot? Many believe it is the latter. There is a prevailing theory that Stefon, perhaps struggling with his own professional pressures or deep-seated insecurities, wanted to put Cardi in her place. If you look at it through the lens of a Scooby-Doo mystery, the pieces start to click. The setup was too public, too intentional, and executed with a level of visibility that ensured Cardi and the rest of the world would know exactly what was happening. This brings us to the concept of demon time. In social media parlance, this refers to behavior that is intentionally disruptive, malicious, or designed to cause maximum damage to someone else's peace. When Stefon's family and inner circle participated in this display, it signaled that they were not just bystanders. They were complicit. To walk into an arena knowing that your partner's trauma is tied to this specific person and to flaunt that association regardless is a level of disrespect that goes beyond simple mistakes. It suggests a desire to see a reaction. It suggests that the goal wasn't just to have friends at the game, but to intentionally trigger a woman who had been nothing but a ride or die supporter. We also have to address the why. Why would someone throw away the support of a woman as high profile and dedicated as Cardi B? Some speculate it's a power play. There are whispers that Stefon might be jealous of the aura and influence that Cardi commands. When you are with someone who is a global superstar, the dynamic can become fragile. If you don't possess the same level of self-assurance, it is easy to start viewing your partner's success as a threat rather than a shared victory. In that state of mind, the act of humiliation becomes a tool to regain control. By breaking her spirit, or at least attempting to, he temporarily shifts the power balance back in his favor. But the plan backfired. The streets, the fans, and even the casual observers aren't blind. They see the patterns. They recognize when a woman is being played in her face. And instead of the desired outcome, where Cardi is seen as the fool, the public narrative has shifted to frame Stefon as the loser. The irony is palpable. He had the stage, he had the audience, and he had the opportunity to be the hero, but he chose to be the villain. Now, he's not just facing the consequences of his actions in his personal life, but he's also being scrutinized in the professional arena, with his performance and his character being questioned by everyone from sports analysts to social media commentators. This is the first layer of the onion. It isn't just about a game or a party. It's about character. It's about how someone treats the person who is supposed to be their partner when the lights are brightest. And as we continue to peel back these layers, we'll see how this setup was only the beginning of a much larger, more complicated narrative involving alleged back-channel communication, secret pacts, and the inevitable fallout that occurs when you decide to treat a Libra like they don't have the power to weigh the scales. Focused on the setup, Part 2 must dissect the pattern. Why does a man like Stefon feel empowered to act this way? The answer lies in the destructive cycle of manipulation that often characterizes these high-profile, volatile relationships. When we analyze the commentary surrounding this incident, a clear picture emerges. Stefon's actions weren't a one-time slip-up. They were a manifestation of his character, a pattern of behavior that consistently prioritizes ego over empathy. Look closely at the logistics. Bringing someone like Pri into his inner circle during the biggest weekend of his life requires effort. It requires planning, coordination, and a blatant disregard for the feelings of the person who is supposed to be your partner. This wasn't a random encounter. It was an intentional, curated experience. The fact that his family and his team were hugged up with her speaks volumes. It indicates that the toxicity wasn't just coming from him, it was systemic. It was a group effort to treat Cardi as a cash cow or a secondary player in a life where she was, in reality, the one providing the stability and the spotlight. People are quick to ask, why would she stay? But that question misses the point of the psychological hold these dynamics have. When a partner is playing in your face, they're often banking on the fact that your love for them or your history with them will override your self-respect. They count on you to be the one who acts right while they continue to act out. Stefon, in this scenario, was playing a dangerous game of emotional chess. He believed he had the upper hand, that he could dictate the terms of engagement, and that Cardi would simply absorb the humiliation as part of the price of admission to his world. But notice the shift in the energy. The public perception has changed. The narrative is no longer Cardi is crazy/unstable, but rather Cardi is the one being targeted by a weak-minded man. This is a crucial pivot. By choosing to surround himself with people who have historically been a source of pain for his partner, Stefon revealed his own insecurity. There's a strong theory among observers that he is actually jealous of Cardi, jealous of her reach, her influence, and the way she has cultivated a career that stands entirely on its own. This brings us to the demon time family dynamic. A man's environment is a reflection of his priorities. If his family is aligning with someone who is clearly a trigger for his partner, they are signaling that they don't respect that partner either. They are effectively telling the world that they value the entertainment or the drama over the dignity of the mother of his child. This is a cold, calculated reality. It shows that for this entire camp, the priority was never to build a healthy, supportive foundation. It was to maintain a level of control and, when that failed, to tear down the person who expected more. The Scooby-Doo mystery of it all, the way the information was leaked, the way the photos appear to be staged, suggests that this was meant to be a public declaration. It was meant to show the world that, despite the status of their relationship, he held the power. He wanted to see her reaction. He wanted the blogs to buzz. He wanted the tea to flow. It's the behavior of a man who is terrified of being irrelevant and tries to fill that void by causing chaos in the life of someone who is actually succeeding. Let's talk about the ninja behavior described in the streets. When someone says a ninja, or in this case, a man, is playing in your face, they're speaking to a specific kind of disrespect. It's the assumption that the woman is too blinded by love to see the game. It is the height of arrogance. Stefon clearly thought he could navigate this, that he could have his cake and eat it too. He assumed that even if he caused a scene, he could just explain away later. He has likely done it 1,000 times before, but the Super Bowl was a bridge too far. Ultimately, this part of the saga reveals the profound difference in character between the two. One is focused on building, on moving forward, on touring, and on protecting her legacy. The other is focused on petty, high school-level games designed to inflict maximum emotional damage. When you realize that the person you are fighting for doesn't possess the capacity to care about your feelings, the illusion starts to shatter. And for Cardi, the evidence was laid out in plain sight, in front of the cameras, on the field, and in the company he kept. It was a harsh lesson, but a necessary one. The dust has settled on the Super Bowl, but the aftershocks are still being felt across the industry. When we look at the wreckage of what transpired, the final takeaway is clear. This wasn't just a loss on the scoreboard for Stefon. It was a profound loss of character. Many are calling this his career low moment, not because of the game stats, but because of the visible, cold-blooded way he chose to handle his personal affairs under the global spotlight. There's a powerful sentiment circulating that God doesn't bless a mess. The decision to prioritize a source of trauma, a person who has been at the center of public conflict, over the dignity of his own family, set a chain reaction in motion. Critics and fans alike are observing that the energy he put out was the energy he received back. His performance was lackluster, the team struggled, and the public sentiment turned sharply against him. It wasn't just bad luck. It was a reflection of the demonic energy he invited onto the field. But let's talk about the real winner here, Cardi. Throughout this entire ordeal, she has been forced to navigate the most public form of humiliation, yet her trajectory remains unchanged. While the narrative was being crafted to break her, she was busy securing her future. From exclusive deals to the upcoming tour, she didn't halt her progress to validate the games being played against her. This is the ultimate power move. When you're being targeted for your emotional reaction, the most devastating thing you can do is refuse to play the game. The speculation that Cardi has put roots on him, or that she has simply mastered the art of detachment, is a testament to her influence. People are watching her, rooting for her to finally close this chapter once and for all. There's a deep, collective desire to see her walk away from a situation that never served her. We've all seen the patterns, the constant cycle of being played, the excuses, the gaslighting that happens behind closed doors. Now, the mask has completely slipped. Stefon's actions have done the work for her. He has shown the world exactly who he is, and in doing so, he has given her every reason she needs to never look back. The most important lesson here isn't about the drama. It's about self-respect. Whether you're a celebrity or an everyday person, you have likely been in a situation where someone tried to play in your face. You've likely felt that love spell that keeps you attached to people who don't deserve your loyalty. The tragedy of this situation is that Stefon had someone who was truly in his corner, someone who was supporting him through his hardest professional days, and he chose to throw that away for the sake of petty, short-lived ego. He wanted to humiliate her. He wanted to break her, but all he really succeeded in doing was proving his own insecurity. He looked small, he looked petty, and he looked like a man who is desperately trying to sabotage his own happiness because he can't handle the greatness of the woman beside him. As the story continues to unfold, the message is loud and clear. Stop pouring into people who have no intention of filling your cup. Cardi's journey is moving forward, and for those who have been watching, it's a reminder that no amount of status or game can protect you from the consequences of being a bad person. The scales have balanced, the truth has been revealed, and now the path is clear. It's time to leave the games in the rearview mirror and embrace the future. Sometimes the best way to win is to simply stop playing altogether. What do you think really happened on that field? Was this a calculated move to break Cardi B, or just the messy result of a man who lost his way? One thing is for certain, we've all seen someone try to play in our face, and it's never a good look. Cardi is leveling up and moving on to her tour, but the conversation is far from over. I want to hear from you. Do you believe in the Libra energy and the idea that karma always settles the score? Or do you think this is just celebrity noise? Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you think Cardi should completely cut ties and never look back? Or is there still a path to reconciliation after such a public humiliation? If you enjoyed this breakdown of the industry tea, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. We're going to be digging for even more dirt, and you don't want to be the last one to find out what's really going on behind the scenes. Stay tuned, stay focused, and as always, keep your circle tight. See you in the next one.